Hey, it works. Hi, I'm Lulu, and I don't have an opinion on the new lightsaber, and I'm filming this on my boyfriend's new tablet, so welcome to Geeks of the Week. I forgot to mention 2 weeks ago that I would be traveling for the holiday last week, and I'd still hoped to make a video, like I even brought a wig with me and everything, but something about being sleep deprived and at my mom's house with the real couch and cable TV and the heater actually running made me super tired and relaxed, and it was nice, and I didn't want to do shit. And the next day was the parade, so my hands were tied. So I hope those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving had a wonderful holiday, and those of you who don't, I hope you had a good ordinary week. I have so much to catch up on and so much I want to say, so I'm not even going to try and catch up with 2 weeks of the other Geeks videos. Um, dot, no offense, but like I said, I have a lot of other things to talk about. So, I'm going to first answer my question from two weeks ago, and then I'm going to try something new. Anyway, in honor of the release of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire 2 weeks ago, I said it right this time, and the announcement of the Majora's Mask remake, I asked the other geeks what they think about video game remakes. So here is my take. I kind of go back and forth on the subject. On one hand, I think there's a certain charm to playing games, like as they were, like when they came out, glitches and outdated graphics and water temples and all. And I think that that's just kind of part of the experience, is trying to experience it as it was originally intended to be experienced. Um, but I also really like that remakes can make classic games more available to younger audiences or to people who can only play games on modern systems. And yes, I hear some of you, including my boyfriend, I'm sure, screaming that Nintendo has their Virtual Console, which has access to a lot of really awesome classic games. Nothing from Fire Emblem yet, but lots of good things like Kirby and Yoshi and Earthbound and Minish Cap, which I started playing a couple weeks ago, and fuck you, I don't care if that's a classic game, I'm still enjoying it, playing it not on a tiny ass screen. Anyway, it still proves my point. Really, the only thing that really upsets me about remakes is how people react to them. It just makes me roll my eyes when people complain that companies are just doing it to make money. Yes, of course they are. That is what companies do. They have to make money so that they continue to do awesome things that you buy and make more money off of. So, kind of the circle of life. Like, yes, complaining about them wanting easy money is one thing. Complaining that they're not investing in new titles or properties or is another. And I sympathize with that. I know the big point of debate is Nintendo doing new things, doing remakes of old Zelda games instead of releasing a new one. Like, that I understand. But they still have to make money to be able to do that, so who cares if Nintendo has to make easy money once in a while? Like, if they still put out awesome stuff, then who gives a fuck? Personally, I don't think I own too many remakes. I will admit that I absolutely peed my pants over Pokemon Soul Silver, because the original was such a part of my childhood that having it come back being bigger and better and not on a cartridge that liked to delete its own save file was a godsend to me. Let's see. I also have Persona 4 Golden, even though it doesn't need to exist. And I've sunk quite a few hours into my boyfriend's copy of Wind Waker HD. I also have Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth on my Christmas list, because as much as I like the Neptunia franchise, the gameplay in the original first game is almost unbearable, and at some points it really is unbearable. So having it be remade, I think, was definitely necessary. One of the few recent games, maybe the only recent game I think desperately needed an update. Plus, a lot of remakes are on handheld systems like the Vita and the 3DS, which is awesome for me because that's mostly what I play on. So, TLDR, remakes are okay, entitled Nerd Whining is not. Anyway, I said I was going to try something new, so here we go. Back in October, I gave a top 3 list, and I'd like to start doing that regularly. Now, they're all going to be as stupid as I can possibly think to make them, because I think ranking things on a list is stupid to begin with. So, anyway, I don't know how stupid this is, but this week's list is top 3 video games I have actually played this week. that's actually a lot for me. I happen to get 3 new games this week. Anyway, moving on. Number 3 is Danganronpa. And I hear some of you saying, I'm so behind the trend. Well, actually, I heard about this series before most of you. The difference being that I wanted to actually wait and play it instead of watching someone else play it. Which I honestly kind of regret a little because gameplay-wise, it is almost awful. But I am enjoying it overall for the story aspect, which fortunately is what most of the game actually is. The premise reminds me a lot of the Virtue's Last Reward series, which I've spoken about several times on the show before, so of course I love it. And it has some hints of Umineko, which you should know by now that I absolutely adore. Um, I plan to talk more about this game in the future, but for now, let's talk about game number 2. So remember 2 weeks ago when Baby J listed a bunch of games that were coming out and I said I wasn't excited for any of them? That was a bold-faced but completely accidental lie because I forgot that Persona Q was coming out. Also known as the Persona fanfiction game, or Atlas is still milking these two properties into the ground, and guess what? I don't care. This game has just made me smile so much since I started playing it. Mostly because more Naoto, and that's all that matters to me. I have very simple tastes when it comes to video games. Just put more Naoto in it, and I'm gonna buy it, which is why I bought Persona Golden. Admittedly, I'm not that far into it because I keep getting distracted by Danganronpa and my number 1 game that I'm playing this week, which is Neptunia Producing Perfection, which I can't even say right. Well, it's abbreviated as Neptunia PP, but I didn't want to say PP on the air, but I just did it twice, so you're welcome. Anyway, I don't care that it has 2.5 stars on Metacritic. It has 1 billion stars in my heart, because this game, it just truly fills me with a giddiness that I can't describe. Partially because it's really easy, which makes it great for when I want a game that's just purely relaxing and enjoyable and is almost virtually impossible to screw up. It's also the closest thing we'll ever get to having the Idolmaster games brought to the US, because the gameplay is very, very similar. And yeah, I know they brought the rhythm games that were released on mobile devices. Okay, shut up, I hear you, whatever. And the best part is that you can play as any of the 4 goddesses from Hyperdimension Neptunia, which means you can play as Best Goddess, who is obviously Noir, who is perfect, wonderful, stuck-up tsundere waifu princess, and I just adored this game, and I don't care if it makes me anime trash. Anyway, I'm gonna go take my weeaboo self somewhere else, so I can go upload this, and go be weeaboo trash somewhere else. So, sorry, I got distracted thinking about waifus. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Bye!